everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Lions Minute. I am Dr. O'Neill, the Lindenwold School District's very proud superintendent. As we all return from spring break, I sent out a letter to all of our families. I wanted to take some time again to review it here. It is important that we take time to address and reflect upon the many very serious national tragedies happening across our country. While on our spring break, unfortunately, I watched the recent Louisville mass shooting at the Old National Bank unfold on television. On the Friday of spring break, as I was driving home from a family experience with all of my family together in the car, my children were getting messages and viewing stories from people at the Washington Township Carnival within mere moments of the chaos. People we knew, children we knew, were running and hiding out of fear. This shouldn't be the world that any of our children grow up in, but it is. Just prior to our spring break, many of us were horrified to follow the mass shooting that occurred in Nashville, Tennessee school. And as we began the new year in January, many of us were shocked to learn about the shooting of a first grade teacher by a 6-year-old child at the Rich Neck Elementary School in Newport News, Virginia. As of today, there have been more than 146 mass shootings across our country in a total of 106 days in 2023. Some information sources actually identify as many as 156. There have been a total of 14 school shootings in total thus far this year, again in 106 days, which resulted in injuries and/or loss of life. Last year, in 2022, there were 51 school shootings, which resulted in injuries and/or loss of life. Being trained as a school safety specialist, holding the honor of superintendent with extensive safety trainings, and being married to a retired law enforcement officer, that has resulted in many sad conversations with my own children. I have discussed how to hide and how to never open a locked door during a crisis situation, no matter who is knocking on the outside and no matter what you hear. Teaching my own children to never open a door until a police officer arrives with a key may be essential in maintaining their safety, but it is truly some of the most disturbing and sad conversations I feel required to have with them in 2023. So what have we done as a district to ensure the safety of our schools? The district has continued its partnership with the Lindenwold Police Department, and at this time we currently employ 2 school resource officers and 1 Class 3 officer. Representatives from the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness visited our district on 2 separate occasions this year just to review our drilling procedures in all of our district-owned buildings. Over the past year, the Lindenwold School District installed safety vestibules in all of our district-owned school buildings. The district is continuing to expand security cameras throughout the district in district-owned and rented buildings. All of our district maps are secured, but yet accessible in an emergency to all law enforcement throughout Camden County. Vape sensors are being installed in bathrooms this year, and Narcan boxes have been installed throughout the district. We actually received additional boxes from the Lindenwold Police Department as a result of a grant. AEDs are located in every building, and designated staff in every building are CPR and AED trained. The district has instituted new safety practices such as an identification process for all staff, students, contractors, and guests, building entrance and exit processes and procedures, and we have modified our processes for vehicle identification. Our new early childhood building will be equipped with all of the very best safety security measures. Anytime a concern is raised by a staff member, a student, a police department officer, or a member of our community, it is investigated and addressed immediately. Depending on the circumstance, new procedures may be developed to ensure the safety of all of our students and staff. It takes a village and many dedicated people to ensure everyone is safe each and every day. Our school district safety specialist continues to maintain her certification with up-to-date trainings on an ongoing basis. And finally, following school mass shootings, designated administrators, along with law enforcement members, are required to attend trainings to learn from each event. It is a traumatic and heart-wrenching experience, but critically important to learn and understand. Here's some important information for parents. The district offers counseling services to students, staff, and families through a service entitled Care Solace. The district also offers student counseling through on-site contracted therapists, as well as guidance counselors, school social workers, and school psychologists. Lindenwold has worked hard to align our crisis protocols and procedures in accordance with the best practices through a 2-year grant called Lifelines. For the past year and a half, the district has continued to educate our staff and expand restorative practices with students. The district has also integrated curriculum known as Move This World for students as early as preschool. It teaches our students coping, self-regulation, and de-escalation strategies. We will be reinstituting character education in our middle school and revising our freshman seminar classes to meet these needs as well. Regarding student behavior information, please be aware any student who brings a firearm into our schools will be immediately reported to law enforcement, and the student will be promptly and mandatorily arrested. Students who choose to bring a firearm to school should also know they are choosing to be arrested, and they are choosing to never return back to Lindenwold schools. Weapons of any kind are not permitted in Lindenwold schools, including tasers, pocket knives, butter knives, rocks and book bags, cooking and gardening shears. At a minimum, the district will notify law enforcement, and a superintendent's hearing for reentry will be required with both the parent and the child. A student who intentionally assaults a staff member will be suspended pending a Board of Education hearing. Law enforcement will also be notified. The Code of Conduct will be applied to students who unintentionally injure a staff member during a physical altercation with another student. In addition, a superintendent's reentry meeting with the parent and child will be required. A student who intentionally inflicts harm onto other students will be reported to law enforcement and will receive disciplinary action per the Code of Conduct. Such action may include a superintendent's hearing with the parent and child for reentry into our schools. If the district has a concern regarding the safety of a student, the mental health of a student, and/or a student's inappropriate, dangerous decision-making, the district may require a student to receive a crisis evaluation or psychiatric evaluation. In the event that the school district deems student behavior to be incorrigible or grossly negligent, an alternative learning placement may be recommended. I thank you all for your support in helping our district to be the safest possible school district for all of our students and staff. The safety of all of our students and staff must take priority in dangerous situations. Reviewing this information with your child is sad, but essential. Additional safety information can be found on our website.